So it's a well-known fact that Black women tend to enter into interracial relationships less often than their Black male counterparts. And for many Black women, and trust me, I know because they have told me over and over again, dating a white man is completely out of the question. If you're wondering why, or at least my opinions on why, then let's talk about it. Now, I'm going to be discussing all of the reasons besides just the fact that there are Black women who do not find white men attractive in any way, shape, or form, and that is totally fine. And this video is not to attack you, and you're just not, my target audience for this video. First reason is a fear of rejection. There are many Black women who refuse to pursue or who refuse to attempt to date white men because they are under the impression that white men just do not want them. They may believe that white men would be willing to enter into a casual, non-committal sexual relationship with them, but they would be unwilling to build a life, start a family with Black women. And I think that's a perfectly fair concern. I don't think that's irrational in any way. I believe that, at least in this nation, Black women have been conditioned to believe that we are undesirable. Yes, there are going to be white men who do not find you attractive because you are a Black woman. That is just the honest truth. And the truth also is that there are white men who absolutely would find you attractive and desirable because of your Blackness, because of Black features that you may have, and also because of the individual, the human being that you are. There are definitely white men who would be willing to start a family and build a life with you and dedicate themselves to you. The second reason that many Black women refuse to date white men, in my experience, it has been a fear of other people's opinions. I have literally had Black girlfriends of mine tell me that there is this white guy that they are interested in, they think he's cute, and they're pretty sure that he's interested in them as well, and they have just turned him down and just shut him out because of the opinions of their family and friends, or even just like the perceived opinions of their family and friends. Not even things that they've actually heard, but what they assume their family and friends would think. And you know what? This would be acceptable. Like, this would be an acceptable excuse if these friends of mine were like in their early or late teens. But these are grown women who are in their late 20s and early 30s. And I get it. I have been teased many, many times for dating outside of my race, and in particular, dating white men. I have been teased many times by friends and family, and sometimes it has been lighthearted and even funny. And there have been times where it has just been really mean and clearly rooted in ignorance. But if you are someone who is keeping a potential suitor away because of the opinions of others, then I would just encourage you to prioritize your own wants and needs. And I want to ask you this. Would gaining and maintaining the approval of your friends and family, would doing that actually serve to satisfy your wants and your needs? The third reason why many Black women refuse to date white men is because of a lack of exposure to white men. There are many Black women who have grown up and who continue in their adulthood to inhabit spaces that are predominantly Black spaces, or if not all Black spaces, then spaces with predominantly people of color. And therefore, when it comes to their dating choices, they stick to what they know because what they know is what they know. One of the only issues that comes with having a lack of exposure to particular people, places, and things is that you can begin to develop inaccurate concepts, inaccurate notions, inaccurate perceptions of those people, places, and things that are foreign to you. So for those of you who are maybe intimidated by the thought of dating a white man because you just have very little exposure to white men, I would just encourage you to broaden your horizons and to open your mind a bit. And to remember that just as there is no one type of Black, Asian, or Hispanic man, there is no one type of white man. So the fourth reason why many Black women refuse to date white men is because of a fear of sexual compatibility. I'm going to do my best to keep it classy while I am discussing this. So there are many Black women who believe that when it comes to being intimate with a white man, that man just would not be able to meet their needs. There's this notion that, let's say, men of color create more motion in the ocean, and that white men are more steady, still waters. Here's the reality. There is no race of man that can just automatically guarantee you sexual compatibility and sexual intimacy. It really is based on that individual and the connection and compatibility that you have with that individual. But I will say, from my personal experience, that I have never had any issues in that department. So my fifth and final reason why Black women, or at least many Black women, I won't say all, but why many Black women refuse to date white men is really an offshoot of my previous point, and that is just a fear of general intimacy, or to be more specific, a fear that they will be unable to have intimacy with their partner. What I mean by this is that, at least in this nation, but honestly I think it's safe to say worldwide, the narrative, the story, the history between white and Black people has been very long and very tumultuous, and white people have inflicted a significant, inexplicable amount of harm upon Black people. And in today's time, although we are slowly trying to have the conversations and take the actions necessary to address this harm that's been inflicted, we still have a long way to go. And because of this long history between Black and white people, many Black women are just afraid that they would be unable to have a genuine, authentic, vulnerable relationship with a white man. They feel as if it would be difficult to be fully seen, to be fully heard, and to be fully understood. And for a lot of these women, they feel as if the only people who would really be able to get them are the people who have walked in their shoes. And I would just say a couple of things to this. One is that someone may own a similar or identical pair of shoes to the ones that you have, but even the identical pair of shoes is still a different pair from the ones that you have, and therefore no one can really ever walk in your shoes. No one can ever truly get you but you. I would also add that sometimes having someone who may not quite understand you but puts in continuous effort to learn how to love you and to learn how to really know you can be more satisfying and more rewarding than being with someone who just assumes that they know how to love you and to know you because they have had a matching background as yours. All right, everyone, thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope that you enjoyed. And until next time, stay safe, be well, and I'll see you soon. Bye, everyone.